Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are on, which part? 4. We're on part 4 of the Rhana coloring, coloring page that is available in my Etsy shop. And as always, the links to the page, the list of the pencils that I use. I'm trying to remember to always put down the paper that I'm using. As much information as I can possibly think of to put down there in that description box is down below the video. So check that out. So I thought today we would, I'm going to start on the leaves, and I think I'll be able to get all of this done, and then we'll be able to do the background in the last video. So yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so for these leaves, I've pulled out several greens. They do tend to be my favorite greens for doing leaves. So I'm going to start with Kelp Green. And let's see, what do I want to do for? Let's do Kelp Green. Let's do some Pale Sage. Probably some Limepeel. Maybe some Gray Green Light. My Espresso. There's so many. I've got several here, so I'll just I'll try and let you know what those are as I'm doing them. Sometimes I know I get kind of forgetful. I'll try not to be forgetful. So I think I'm going to start over here. So I'm going to lay this Gray Green light. I'm sorry, Kelp. This Kelp Green down here in the center. Go ahead and do these. And then I'm going to start on the outer edge and feather in. Actually, now I'm thinking about this, I should probably do this a little bit differently because I am on white paper and not on the tan. So I'll get this one done, and then when I'm working on the tan paper, I can do my darks first and then my lights, but I think I need to do my lights first. So before I get much further, I'm going to go ahead and add the Pale Sage. And then I'll come back in and work this. So now I'm taking the Kelp Green and I'm feathering it into, or away from the center, I guess would be a better way to say it. So these are small leaves, you know, you maybe don't have to, I probably don't need to do them as detailed as I'm doing them, but I'm a glutton for punishment. I think I'm going to add some Limepeel. Yeah, if these were bigger, I could go into a lot more detail, but in actuality, I'm not doing as much detail as I normally would. And then this is a little bit of Celadon. And we'll just probably This is the gray-green light. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and refrain from going too, who am I kidding? I was thinking, maybe if you just don't go as detailed, the video won't take as long and people won't lose interest or get bored or whatever. But yeah, no, I gotta be me. I gotta do my thing. A little bit of gray-green light. That was pale sage. It really doesn't matter, you know, light colors, dark colors, all greens look good together. So I am, however, going to mix a little bit of espresso in here, just maybe down the center. Because I like the way that it looks. And I want to blend a little bit. This is the Kelp Green. I think that's fine. By the time we get them all done, they'll be fine. So Kelp Green down the center. And then before I start feathering the color in, I'll go ahead and add the pale sage in the center of each of the little dividing bits. All right, and then back to the Kelp Green and feather that in. Blend that with a little bit more. What is this again? Pale sage. And I think this time I'm going to try the Chartreuse instead of the Limepeel. Let's get a little bit brighter. I might even add some of that over here. There we go. And then some espresso. My colorless blender. Blend that. Okay. do some pale sage. I'm just kind of debating on, this is Prussian Green, but I think it's going to be too bright. Well, I don't dislike it. Well, I think I'm gonna switch back. I like the kind of, I don't know, muted yellowy browny tones of the Kelp Green. So for these, we'll just kind of stick with that. Going to fix that a little bit. Okay, let's use Limepeel. I want to try Kelly Green up on a couple of these. So I don't want every single leaf to look exactly the same. So I'm going to try and vary some of these colors a bit. Do some Chartreuse. Maybe not all over everywhere, just, you know, like where maybe some light might be catching it. And then I think a little bit of gray green light. Yeah, see, again, it's just, it's not, I guess it's working, sort of. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, let's keep going. Back to Kelp Green. Now the darkness of these leaves with the grayscale is going to help change up the color. Which is kind of nice, I think. Don't forget. You know what, on this one, I want to try maybe, okay, which one is greener? I always get confused as to which one is greener, Celadon or Jade. Jade, I think, is greener. So let's do some Jade Green on these, just for, in fact, I think I'll just do one and see how I like it before I do all of them. And then feather that. God, at the rate this is taking me, I could be wrong. I might not get everything done. That would be a bummer. Although I could probably just do what I can do and then finish up off camera, because I think you guys pretty much know how to color leaves. This is the gray-green light. I don't know why I grabbed that. I just did. Scratch that. Let's do some espresso. I don't know if I like it. Got kind of messy looking. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Jade. Back to the Kelp Green. Jade. And Kelp Green. A little bit of Limepeel. Kelp Green. Jade. Just blending. If you blend each section on its own, you'll get a crisper look than when I just kind of went and blended all the espresso in there as well. All right, let's do this one because we're going to do that one in the same colors that we've been doing so far. Oops. Jade. And Kelp Green again. And what am I missing? Oh, espresso. Okay. Okay, this one, this is the edge of the leaf. And it's like folded onto itself. This is the Kelp Green. I need to just look something up here real quick. Why can't I ever remember? You know what? Celadon Green is actually the greener green. I don't think it really makes a difference in our look here, but it was bugging me because my brain kept going, wait, are you sure? Are you sure? Let's do one more. Let's do this one. Jade or Celadon, whichever makes you happy. Some espresso. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and carry on with these same colors. Let's do this one. And this one. Celadon. And actually, I think I'm going to pull out some Jade as well. This was the Celadon. And back to Kelp. I'm going to take the pale sage and use that for blending. Espresso, and I'm going to start putting some of those little dots in that I like. In fact, I might throw a few over here too. Sorry, I got a little crazy with that brown. Now I need to fix it. There we go. To me, these little dots on the leaves are like freckles or, you know, spots when I do skin. It's like that little thing that oddly for my brain makes them look more realistic because they're not perfect that way. All right, Kelp Green. For this one, I'm going to do pale sage on this side and the Celadon on this side. And then this is the Kelp. I'm going to take my pale sage and try and lighten this up just a little bit. That works. That worked quite well, actually. Espresso. All right, let's do this one. I'm going to do that one quite a bit lighter than these others, but I'm still going to use the Kelp as the center spine color. All right, let's do Pale Sage. I actually might even consider doing some gray green light in the center of this one on this side. All right, now I'm gonna do, let's see what I think about this Kelly green. Not in love. Let's try Prussian Green. All right, let's do some Limepeel. Pale Sage. I'm using that more to blend out than anything else. I'm debating. You know what I want to pull out another color. I'm going to pull out light umber. And that's not quite as dark as the espresso, so that worked out okay. All right, let's keep going. Kelp Green. I want this leaf to be lighter than this leaf, so I'm gonna do Pale Sage all over the whole thing. And then let's do that other one that I did. What was that? Prussian. Now let's do Prussian Green. And gray green light, maybe just that light umber. That might be a little bit too much. Careful. I'm going to blend that with the Pale Sage. All right, let's get this dark one in here so that I can see what that looks like. We've got it's weird to you know, it's different. It's a different experience to do these as a coloring page as opposed to when I just do them, you know, originally with the art. It's just kind of a different process. So every time I do one of my own coloring pages, it's still kind of a new experience. All right, I don't like the way this leaf ends exactly where the center line is of the other leaf. I'm not sure if I did that. That's just kind of weird. I don't like the way that looks. So I'm gonna it made a little bit of a difference to do that. At least it's not a straight line going down now. And once I get all the other colors on here, it'll probably be fine. Let's add a little bit more Kelp Green to this one. It's like I made them all kind of conglomerate here. Oh, just trying to change some shapes a little bit here. See if that helps. That's maybe a little bit better. Okay. Kelp Green. Now, mine's going off the page. If you don't print yours edge to edge like I do, you'll have that a little border here, which you can either, you know, leave, or you can just extend the length of the leaves down. I need to lift this. There we go. I was gonna bend my page because it was coming off my easel. All right, bear with me for a little while because I'm in an awkward area because the camera is kind of right in my face where I need to be. So it feels awkward. All right, I think I'm going to leave those just as they are. All right, I need to do something here. I'm going to add with the light umber instead of the espresso. I'm going to add some of those little dots to these leaves. And maybe just blend out a little bit with sorry, I'm just kind of fixing some stuff here that's bugging me. Okay, that's better. All right, I like the way these are looking. Get this a little sharpened. And we'll start coming down here. Again, this is the Kelp Green. And let's see, what color do I want to do next? Let's do pale sage. No. Okay, we'll do pale sage. I think I want to do some Celadon on these too. So let's do a little bit of Celadon. I don't know if that's going to make much difference. We'll see. All right. I keep going down to this one instead of these up here for some reason. feather this in. Yeah, I'm just trying to be, I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. I should still be in camera, but I think it'll be easier for me to see. I was kind of looking under the camera for a little while there, and it was not good for my posture. Okay, so something I'm going to show you on this next leaf, and that is how I take a leaf that is very flat and make it look more rounded. So basically, in a leaf shape, if you have, you have your typical leaf, and then you've got the lines that come out. So when I come across leaves that are drawn like that, I find that if you round out all the sections, in other words, your shading creates a round highlight in the center of each section, or an oval. It wouldn't be round, but oval. So you're rounding out that center area there, and then you're doing the same thing to your outer edge. By doing that, you're taking that flatness and you're changing it so that each one of those sections look like they are a curved three-dimensional shape. Now that wouldn't necessarily, be the case for every single kind of leaf. But I do tend to do a lot of my leaves like that. Let's see, this one I want on top, this one is on bottom. Oh, I'm back to looking underneath the camera again. I think that'll be all right. Let's blend that a little bit. And add some espresso. I think I want to add some lime peel on this edge. Maybe some over here. That's good. And actually, as I'm looking here, I'm going to add some black just under this leaf. I might come back and do more, but I know I felt like this one especially, I wanted some shadow. So that's better. Alrighty, so let's do, what do I want? I want jade this time. I'm going to put some Jade Green down here on this one. Yeah, I guess that's good. We've got this little tip. We've got this little tip of a leaf right here that, okay. So Celadon, not Celadon, sorry, gee. Kelp Green. There's something about the mixture of the of these Celadon and Kelp and Jade Greens that I really like, with the very yellow greens of the colors like this Kelp, and like when I add Limepeel, or in fact, I'm going to come in here with this jade some more. It's just, they make a really beautiful combination, in my opinion. Let's do that here too. I'm going to be careful not to get any color on top of the frog's foot. So I'm going to grab a pencil. Just so that I can make sure that I see that definition. This is part of his toe, and that's his leg. Okay. Sometimes doing that helps, especially on the light grayscales where things start to fade out a little bit more. You can come in and use your pencil real lightly and define what you can see, or look at a darker grayscale version, or look at the artist's original work to help you determine, you know, what's what. But I personally would rather have things be, you know, a little blurred or a little bit harder to figure out what's what, than have really harsh lines defining everything, because then it looks a little bit too much, for me personally, looks a little bit too much like a coloring page as opposed to something a little bit more artistic. Not that there's anything wrong with coloring pages or lines. I'm just, you know, it's just my taste. Okay, a little bit of, I think I'm going to use light umber instead of espresso. And I think we need a little bit of something on this stray little shorty leaf there. Okay, espresso. Well, we're moving along better than I thought that we were. We'll be able to get all this done. I just almost started to do a leaf with total espresso. This is the kelp. It's all right. I'm gonna bring the stem out. Try and keep that pencil nice and sharp so that you don't have fuzzy stems. This looks like a little leaf. And I'll just use a little Celadon on this one. Okay, I'm going to pull this up and we'll get those done, and then we'll work on our little red-eyed tree frog. Let's do pale sage. As well. We'll leave that one as is. Okay, back to Kelp Green. Sage. And the Kelp Green again. All right, let's blend with some let's curious. I'm going to put a little bit of this jade in here. Right down the center almost. And then I'll blend out that kelp green with some more pale sage. And I think I will use, let's go back to Espresso in here. Just barely, I'm just really using it lightly. If you'd rather use the light umber, you could do that. And that would look good too. And I'm going to use some Chartreuse. All right. That feels pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. There's some stuff up here that needs to either be blended or, yeah, blend. It's just a little bit of blending issue, and it's because the paper is a little toothier than what I'm, you know, my tan paper that I don't usually have to do that to. Okay, then I've got this one little, actually I think I'll use the kelp. This little leaf here that I missed. It's poking out. All right, so there's the leaves. I'm gonna go get a little quickie drink of water, and then we'll do our tree frog. All righty, so we are going to start on the frog. Actually, I'm actually going to start with some white, just to make sure that that gets saved. And then I pulled some greens out for the frog, but I'm wondering if I should do some different ones for no, I think this is good. I'll stick with this one. So this is apple green. And we're going to do his branch. Kind of bright. Well, that helped. All right, let's use some kelp green. Underneath. little bit more of that what this spring green will do. It brightens things up a bit. Okay. Alrighty then, let's start with his eye. Why not? So I think I'm going to use Scarlet Lake. It's a little bit more orange than some of the other reds, which is what I want. I want a nice orangey red. I'm going to throw a little bit of white for a highlight right there. Right there. I don't know if this is bright enough, but how much brighter could I get? Permanent red is a little bit brighter. Maybe we do that. 24. Let's try permanent red. That's better. That's brighter. So permanent red. Okay, it gets a little bit of black around. All right, I'm going to use spring green because it's quite bright, but first a little bit of white. Let's do some white right here. And I'm actually kind of doing it in little dots. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. We'll see. And then apple green. Back to spring green. Another, let's see. I guess I'll use Scarlet Lake. This is the tip of his other eye. And let's use some Kelp Green. Just to give us that shadow. the spring green seems to be working better than the apple green. So I lightened up my touch there where I knew I had put some of that white. I don't know, he's not quite the right color yet, so let me try that apple green again. Let me just do another. I don't want Kelly. I don't want, no, I think this is it. I think this is the color. So this is the apple green. And then we'll do a little bit of the kelp green on the very back. Okay, his arm up here is green. You guys can Google not green-eyed, red-eyed tree frog if you want to color this on your own. Okay, and then some of the spring green. Brighten it up. Okay, he's got some green here. All right, time for again, I keep second guessing myself. I'm gonna switch. I pulled out a color and I think I'm gonna change my mind. So let's go with Denim blue. And I'm going to use really light pressure. So I just want to put down some of this blue and then I'm going to blend it out with some other colors. They're certainly colorful little guys, that's for sure. I've always had a thing for the frogs, especially all the really gorgeous ones, the little teeny tiny ones that are poisonous, the poison dart frogs and all those frogs in the tropical climates. They're just so darn cute. Cute but deadly. All right. Let's do a little bit of white. Boy, it's really hard for me to not be able to add whites in after. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work on this paper. I might have to come in with a little Posca pen, but I'm going to put the little frog. They're like little dimples. They're like little I don't want to call them warts because that's not what they are, but you know, his skin has all these little dots, raised, all these little raised bits. I don't know what they are. I just know they're there. Like, you know, the skin of a chicken has those Those little white, that's what it reminds me of. So if this doesn't work, then we'll come in with some Posca pen or something similar. He's got a lot of them down here. All right, let's see. I don't know how well that'll work, but okay, now I'm going to do grade lavender. Let's just get a line of white right there. That worked pretty well. Not quite as well in here, but not bad. Okay, let's add some Imperial Violet. I don't know about this. Give me a second to test this out a little bit. So it's a little bit darker. Kind of like that. Okay, so Imperial Violet. And then I think I'll blend it with white. Yep, like that. Need to add some more gray or something in there. Okay, let's try, I'm going to do a little bit of this Nectar. There's his finger. And then what? Parma Violet. That's not quite right. Let's, this is just gray. Which gray is this? 70%. I don't like that either. All right, I gotta work on this a little bit. Let's do a little bit more Nectar in here. Parma Violet. Just completely covered up all those little dots, but that's okay. Something's not quite right yet. What is this? This is the Lilac. Nope, Parma Violet. I think some blue too. Let's do some of this Imperial Violet. That goes in here, and actually I think I'll put some in here. Okay, we need a lot better purples. I'm doing all these, I think I'm going to pull out Violet. 55. Okay, let's do a little bit of Violet. This is his finger. Parma Violet. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with these colors. Dark purple. I need something a little, let's do that. Let's do a little bit of dark purple. It's a little bit redder of a purple instead of so blue. That's a little bit better. Let's do a little bit of that under here. And then the lilac. Put some white on here. Okay, I'll do fine tuning after I kind of get the base colors down, I think. So let's get the oranges in here for his feet. So I'm gonna do a little dot of white for highlight. And this is white. Just a little bit of white. Still have a lot of work to do, but at least we'll get the main colors in. Okay, this is Poppy Red. Not sure if that's orange enough. Let's start with pale vermilion. That's better. Try not to cover up that highlight. Let's do a little bit of poppy red. Okay, this is pale vermilion. toes. Okay, this is an example of when I probably should have kind of drawn in some lines, because I feel like I put a little bit too much purple down. No idea what he's barking at, as usual. Okay, let's go redder. So poppy, let's do some permanent red. Cooper! He'll probably totally ignore me. All right, it's not too bad. I don't want to blend with white because I don't want to make it, I don't want it to turn pink. And I need to get this, which is the underside of his arm, which is kind of blue. That I will blend with white because, or maybe I'll blend that with gray. Let's blend that with 10% cool gray. It's better. I like it. These stripes are actually white. Put a little bit of black. Okay. I still need to get a lot of shadow going in here. But let me not get distracted. I'm getting distracted. Let's do the rest of his little feet, hands, legs. I guess they're legs. Are the front ones arms and the back ones legs, or are they all legs? Deep, deep questions to ponder. Okay, this is the pale vermilion. This part of the leg is purple. With a little bit of white. All right, let's take our poppy red. Why does that look green? How did I manage to make that highlight green? I think we're going to be using a little bit of a white paint pen at the end of this for some of these little pops of white. I think that will make things a lot easier. All right, I want to do a little bit of Nectar. All right, this would be one of those cases where having Caput Mortem Violet would be really nice. But we'll use Chestnut instead. Actually, we could use some Henna too. Henna, let's try Henna. Okay, so here we'll use Henna. Great lavender. I think I want chestnut. Let's do chestnut in here. Actually, maybe espresso even. That's not dark enough. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost there. Oh my goodness, am I already at a half an hour here? I really wanted to get this done. Okay, we're gonna get it done. Grade lavender here. A little bit of green. All right, I'm going to use the chestnut under here. Careful. And I'm going to put down a little bit of green right here, but then I'm going to lighten it with white. All right, I need to get some darker colors going in here. So let's take my 70% cool gray. I don't know if that's dark enough. Maybe black. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of black in here. And do just a tiny little bit of black right here, but then blend it with some of the cool gray. All right, what else do I want? I want white. Blending. And I think we need some chestnut in these shadows. Make that a little bit darker. Maybe some black. Okay. Not bad. Let's take some black and give him some spots. And we can do one of two things. We can put some little shadows. Actually, I like that. Little tiny half circle scoops of, you can use any dark color. I'm going to use black, but that just kind of makes those show up a little bit better. On here, that could be a little bit trickier. Just really light, the most lightest pressure. And if they look too dark, then just pick a lighter color. I think that worked out okay though. Part of me feels like some of these colors are just not dark enough though. I mean, I don't want him to be, you know, super dark, but I also want him to, you know, be rich in his coloring. This is Imperial Violet, but I think I want the bluer color, so Denim blue, just a little bit on the edge, and blend that out with the white. Okay, do I want to go any richer in the greens? Let's do another layer of this green, this apple green. And he has this little divot, this little, it might even be his ear or something to that effect. I read somewhere that they have ears. All right, that's not looking too bad. Let's I'm gonna use my blender. It always seems like the colors get more vibrant when I do this, so don't want to blend too much where I put the little black dots because I don't want those to disappear. I think he's pretty good. I feel like there should be a little bit more shadow, so let's try the 70% cool gray. think he's okay. I think he's good. This is spring green. Let's do a little bit of espresso. Gonna do a little espresso in here. I'm gonna do a little bit of it right here. All right, let me pull out a white pen. And I always tap my pen on another piece of paper first before I start putting it on the page, just in case. You know, you don't want a big blob of I might even this is the ZHAR, any acrylic paint pen. That looks a little bit better. I think that's not bad. Just going to do a couple more with the espresso. We're going to do a few more dots. And some more depth in here. White dots belong right there. Let me just blend this. I think he'll be done. Actually, this is working out really well. The pen is putting out these broken up little teeny tiny dots, and actually that's exactly what I wanted for right there. So that was a happy little surprise. And anytime you use these acrylic paint pens, if you take your finger and blend it while it's still wet, you can soften that edge or that line of whatever you've put down if you want to. If you don't want it to be a hard line, just give it a little soft rub and it'll soften that edge. All right, you guys, I think my little tree frog is done. I'm gonna give him just a little bit wider mouth. And you know what? There's one color that I'm thinking that I want to add. I'm thinking I'm gonna glaze a little bit of grass green over the top. Just to see what that does. Yeah, I like that. It's just one more layer of color. He's good. Alrighty, let me zoom out here. Oh, sorry. Pop it again. There we go. And I can't seem to get it to be just regular. Let me do this. I'm going to shut the camera off and pull back so you can see what we've done so far. Okay, so I can't seem to get the full the full view in here. Of course, I could pull back, but I'm not going to worry about it. So there is where we're at so far. These leaves right here, when I do my pages, those leaves are a silhouette. So I'm going to do them in black, and you don't need to watch me, you know, fill in black. So I will do that off camera, and then once I get that done, I will come back in the next video and we will finish up with a quick, maybe quick background. Gosh, that seems like a really super short video to do. Okay, so let me look at the time. If we're, you know, under an hour and 45 minutes on this thing, I'm going to do these off camera, and then we'll go ahead and do the background. So give me a chance to look and see what I've got going on, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are just over an hour and 45 minutes, and I started thinking about it. So this is what I'm going to do. I filled in my silhouette leaves with just a black water-based marker. This is the one that I got from Joann's. It's Art Alternatives dual tip. It's a great black marker. What I'll probably do is come back in with a pencil afterwards and go over it with pencil when I'm all finished, just to even out the strokes from the marker. I could do a second coat of marker, but pencil's just as easy. Okay, so as far as the background goes, I'm going to do gelatos. And because you guys have seen me do gelato backgrounds a gazillion times, and all that's going to happen is you're going to see my hands swirling around the page, which is kind of pointless. These are the two colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to use blue sapphire, and I'm going to use elderberry. I'm going to do elderberry out here and probably down here, and I'm going to do the darker blue sapphire on the inside. And then I'm going to use the Blue Violet Lake pencil, which can't seem to find it. There it is. Blue Violet Lake. And that actually, when it's on the page, is almost exactly the color of this blue sapphire. So that's what I'll use to get into all the little teeny tiny bits that my brush might not fit super well in. So those are the three things that I'm going to use for the background. I'm going to do that off camera because I don't want to waste time doing that. And then I'll come back, I'll show you what I've done, and I'll let you know if there's anything else that I want to do. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I will be back for you in a flash after I've applied the gelatos and the Blue Violet Lake to this area in here, and then we'll figure out what's next. Alrighty, so I got the gelatos down. I got the elderberry down over here. I did the blue sapphire, sorry. I did that in here, and I went all the way down, and I realized it was not what I want. I was missing something. It was not the way I wanted it. So I started out by adding a little bit of Satellite down here at the very bottom. And that still wasn't dark enough for me. So I took the Poppyseed, which is a translucent color. And what's really nice about it is you can just put that right on and blend that in, and it darkens the colors underneath it. So that made it a little bit easier to apply. I'm looking here thinking that there's probably a few areas I missed in here, but it's not too bad. So I'm really quite a bit happier now with how this looks. It looks a bit brighter on screen actually than it does in person. I'm wondering if I get rid of some of these bright lights, if that will help you see it the way the page actually looks. That's a little bit better. It's so bizarre because it looks really dark to me in person, but when I look through the viewfinder, it gets quite bright. So, so that is what I did. And then I just took my, my blue violet lake pencil where I needed to, to get into the really tiny little areas. And that worked quite well. So the only thing that I'm debating on, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, now that I'm looking at her, she looks a lot better. I was feeling like I wanted to spray it with some workable fixative so that I could get one more layer of color down on her face. Just a little bit more depth over here. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure that I need to do that. She might be just fine the way she is. Yeah, so that's it. I think I'm going to call this page finished. Hopefully the having the background done behind the scenes was not a problem. I think I gave you all the information that you needed to do it just like this, if that's what you chose to do. So I'm going to call this one a wrap. So until I see you guys on the next video, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.